protect people, and I want to protect them too, if the planet isn't livable. It's a tough challenge. Vermont has to do its part. Making sure that we aggressively meet those climate change guidelines is really important to protecting people and making our contribution to a safer and healthier planet. I am a big supporter of the current year's program, and I want to continue to ensure that it has a really bright future in Vermont.
Right, another minute, you want to take that?
I support current use. It helps a lot of dairy farmers. It helps a lot of small woodlot owners. The majority of our land in our state is owned by private. I think 60,000 Vermonters own the majority of our woodlots in our state. The National Forest is about 600,000 acres, about 400,000 with a total goal of 600,000. The state owns a lot of woodlots, but the majority of woodlots in our state is owned by private woodlot owners, and that's why I think current use needs to be a priority going forward. Tax land the way it's used, and that's the principle behind current use, and I do support that, Mark.
Despite the financial problems, can you say today that's off the table?
No, I think everything's on the table. Everything is going to have to be looked at going forward. Everything is going to have to, we're going to have to answer questions about, you know, how the best way to change programs. People around their dinner tables are asking these tough questions. We in state government are going to have to ask the same questions. School boards are doing it, municipal select boards are doing it, and we're going to have to do it at state government with all our programs.
All right, I'm going to move on. There was an opinion piece in Mike Townsend's Burlington Free Press today, an op-ed piece, which I thought raised an interesting question. You both mentioned agriculture, where the writer said that most businesses that have the potential to influence water quality are regulated and their byproducts controlled. Agricultural business is a major player in downgrading Vermont's economic engine, like Champlain, and it's doing it with the blessing of our state environmental agencies and the legislature. And the author said that they were upset with the balance. Are you equally upset with the balance? Lieutenant Governor Dubie?
Well, I think there is a lot of regulation. I think there's more coming. The EPA is, this is a question that's currently under consideration by the EPA. There are regulations for small farms, medium-sized farms, large farms. There's increasingly regulations that are showing up in all our farms, dairy farms in particular. The dairy farms, if you go to Friends of Northern Lake Champlain, they're working collaboratively, working with people that want to protect the lake, that built their own support infrastructure. Julie Moore, working on behalf of Secretary Jonathan Wood, is trying to develop best practices, teaming with contractors to figure out how to prioritize changes to make the changes to clean up St. Albans Bay and Missisquoi Bay in our lake. But I think it is, you know, when you look at the Chesapeake Bay and what's happening around our country, it's more regulation is probably inevitable. But we have to have our farmers to be a part of those solutions, and they, as someone who's been actively working with our dairy farmers, they take great pride in trying to be a part of the solution to address these concerns.
You know, Mark, I'm extraordinarily concerned that we spent $100 million on clean and clear. Great title, very little progress. As governor, I'll do three things to try to get us to progress. The first is, I'm going to need 3 federal waivers. I've talked about that. I might be known as the waiver governor. Thank God we have the best congressional delegation in the country who's going to help me get them. First is waiver on health care to get single-payer health care passed. The second is get rid of No Child Left Behind. And the third is, I want a waiver so that we can use all of the federal dollars that would be used to help our farmers do it right and get rid of these matches where they can't afford to make the match. So we're actually utilizing every federal dollar available in one pool controlled by Vermont. Then we'll use things like the Farm Shed Alliance up in Franklin County, extraordinary work being done up there by the Rainvilles and others, to make sure that we're actually getting the best practices on our farms. We can do that much more quickly than we're doing it now. Second, South Burlington, the kind of stormwater utility that is taking care of ensuring that when we don't have rainstorms like we had last night, we're losing the battle. let's get it done together. We can do much, much better than we're doing. I'll make it a top priority.
Do you agree with the writer that there's an imbalance with the agriculture and the rest of the business world?
I think that you get more with honey than you do with vinegar. And I agree that we have a huge problem. I think there's examples existing right now of how to get the farmers excited about solving this problem. Farmers want to do the best thing. So I've got a model right up there in Franklin County that works. We don't need to regulate them. We need to work with them and get the resources to them. They will get it done. They really will.
All right, I'm going to move on. Wildlife. What is your vision for the future of fish and wildlife resources, and what role should the Fish and Wildlife Department play in that vision? Senator Shumlin.
Well, let me start just by telling you my bias. I know Democrats aren't supposed to hunt, but I do. There's nothing I like to do more. I've been doing it since I was 11 years old, and hunting will have a bright future in my administration. What I would like to see is us work together much more effectively with the department, with the other departments in state government, to ensure that we're building three things. A state that has the best hunting, fishing, and natural resources in the country. A state that understands that ecotourism and what we have right now is what we need to keep, build on for both tourism dollars, but also for our ag future. And finally, a governor who understands that if we don't properly fund the protection of our natural resources, we won't have any natural resources to protect. That we are perilously close to doing. I won't. I'm not going to make the top priority, given Vermonters who make $373,000 a year.